Hello, folks. Well, we're back out here trying to get skinny again. The new pup is walking me about 10,000 steps a day, which I think is about 5 miles. I'm on a new walking path near Lake Chattahoochee. It is 11, not Lake Chattahoochee, the Chattahoochee River. It's 11 flights of stairs to walk up and down it, and it's a pain in the rear end. Anyway, you guys can get skinny with me. Follow me on MyFitnessPal, JBunchii, JBunchii, or Samsung Fitness. And I'm on My Walk now too, which is an Under Armour app. And of course, Fat Boy Getting Skinny on Facebook. And Fat Boy Getting Skinny is my YouTube channel. I'm going to start putting all my food and everything. You're going to watch me lose 60 pounds in 6 months. Food, everything. Anyway, I want to say good morning to you all. I've been kind of silent for the beautiful, is it Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend? Labor Day weekend. So just took some time off to relax and be myself. And just now getting back to doing things. So, come on, little dog. So anyway, the dog wants to smell everything today and mark his territory. He doesn't want to walk. So this walk is taking a lot longer than I expected. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a prospect sponsor, and this is actually in my dynamic prospecting series. This would be dynamic prospecting video number 6. And I've got a few different series coming for you guys, a president series, and just some things that that I see. I take a lot of heat. A lot of folks get upset with me about talking about MC protocol. But if nobody's telling folks how to do it, all that's happening is you're being attacked when you do it wrong. Then, I mean, somebody's got to say, well, this is the way to do it the right way, so that you don't experience very much trouble. Good morning, good folks.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good, how about you?
Good, thank you. So, so we just do this thing, and we keep it moving forward. I'm amazed at all of the tough guys that get on here and talking about what they're going to do and who they're going to run over and how they pull out their gun and shoot somebody. And, everybody's got a gun. America's one of the most heavily gunned populations in the world. So this idea that you're the only person with a gun and you're the only person that, I don't know, I'm not going there. Today is the day we talk about what is a prospect sponsor. And a prospect sponsor is an interesting person in the club who has an interesting job. And if his job is done right, he will, for the rest of a person's motorcycle career, the things that he did for you when you were a prospect will always be remembered by you, as he will have been the person that guided you on this career and got you started. And he will be one of those people that will mean the most to you throughout your prospecting career. So I'll tell you this by telling you a little story. Their last prospect that I personally trained, the day before he was supposed to be voted in, I took him on an adventure. And the adventure had us ride our motorcycles up to the North Georgia mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains. And in the Blue Ridge Mountains is a place where I take my prospects to train them, a lot of them. I like to go up there on the curves, especially when I have guys that are afraid to ride in the pack. And I like to go up in the curves and take them through the increasing distal radial turns at about 10, 15 miles an hour and just have them ride side by side. And on that side by side ride, they get to experience the different kinds of curves and corners and that sort of thing that allows people to kind of get the feel of the bike. And you spend about 6 hours in the mountains with a guy. By the time, I'm sorry, little guy, I didn't know you were busy handling your business. You spend about 6 or 7 hours in the mountains with a guy, riding side by side at about 15 miles an hour. They get it real quick. They get it, and they learn really quickly how to ride to abreast. And so I like to do that. So for this guy, we had gotten we'd gotten a weather advisory in, and the weather advisory said that it was going to be storming cats and dogs, hurricane kind of weather. So I gave him an assignment. You will go to the North Georgia mountains. You will ride your motorcycle up there. You will then paddle down the Chattahoochee River on an inner tube in a swollen creek. And you will bring back a jar full of sand from the banks of the mountain. So that was the, good morning, sir.
Hey, how are you?
Good, and you? So that was his mission. Now, because I never asked anybody to do anything that I wouldn't do as well, I went with him. I said, I'm going to have you do this, but I'm going with you. And also, because his son was severely handicapped with muscular dystrophy, he had to always be around his father because his father had to take care of his needs. And so he took his whole family, wife, daughter, son. They followed in a truck behind us. And so up the mountain we rode in a driving storm, so bad you could only see about 7 feet ahead of you. And when we got up to the top of the mountain near a place called Helen, Georgia, we then transitioned to the inner tubes. And it just so happened that it stopped raining when we got to the inner tubes. So we got on the inner tubes. I had my dog Hope, who used to ride on the back seat of my motorcycle when she was still alive. And she rode up with us, put her on an inner tube, me and the prospect, Hope. We all got on these inner tubes and we started down this rain-swollen stream that was now a dammed river. And if you want to see some pictures of it, you can go to my Facebook page called Hope the Dog. Hope the Dog. And Hope was my most incredible animal. She had her own web page, or Facebook page. And she used to ride everywhere with Daddy. She had a really cool name. Hope, Magda Charity, Warrigal, Mighty Dog of Dogs, Benevolent, Great Magnificent Conqueror, the Lion-Hearted, Bunch the First, Conquering Dog of the Tribe of Judah, Elect of God. That was her whole name. And of course, she got a name that cool because she saved my life once. So I felt like she needed to have one of the coolest names in history. So in any event, we get on these, but if you go to that page, Hope the Dog, the very first picture is the day me and the prospect went down the swollen river. And it was like crazy. It's not what I expected. I've been down that river many times. It was crazy. I mean, the water was just crazy. And quite terrifying too. So, we got to a point where at some point the life tubes flipped over. The inner tubes flipped over. And we were in the water, free for all, just floating. And poor Hope was overwhelmed. So the prospect swims over, grabs the dog, and she reaches out with all her paws and claws into him like a cat hugging a tree. So there he is, trying his damnedest to save my dog, and I'm trying to save him and us, and it was just amazing. Then I flip over, I'm gone, under the water, and I look back, and there he is standing in the middle of, or trying to stand in the middle of that river with all that water bearing down upon him, holding my dog and a big, a big bear hug. So we managed to hook back together, and we managed to get the inner tubes back together and get connected and float back down that river. And oh my goodness, every place we floated, I mean, we were flipping over and over and over. And at the last part of the river, I mean, it had just gotten, it was just too much to stay there. We had to get out. And right when we were about to get out, my inner tube flipped over again, and he grabbed me by the hand. And I lost my headscarf. I was so mad. And my cool glasses. I lost my paddle, my prodding stick. I lost it all. The river claimed it all that day. But we pulled one another out of the river, and he went over, and his wife had given him his jar, his mason jar, and he scooped up his jar full of sand from the banks. And I looked at him and I smiled. And he said, "I earned this damn sand." I said, "Yes, you did." And he put the cap on his sand and water. It was so icky looking. And I smiled at him. You see, he had risked his life to save me and my damn dog. He had shown everything that he was about, everything that we had talked about. Small things. He did these things without even thinking. So then we got back on the motorcycle, and then the rain started again. This deluge coming down that mountain. Well, part of what we had to do is we had to ride up to the top of the lookout. So we rode up to the top of the lookout in all that rain. And then all the way back down to Atlanta we rode. And the rain was so bad. And then he didn't have a windshield. So when we stopped for gas, he was like, oh my goodness, I know everything that I'm going to get. I'm going to get a windshield. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. So when we got down back home, he looked at me. He says, what do you think? You think I'll get voted in tomorrow? And I said, oh, hell yeah. I think you will be. So it was a triumph when I called all the brothers and told them how he had conducted himself on the ride, how he had taken his entire family. His entire family came to support him. And I talked about how he had risked himself just to save my stupid dog, who should have been able to swim. And I talked to him about the brotherhood, how he stayed in the pack, never left, never faltered, even though he didn't have a windshield on his bike, how strong he had worked. And I gave him all the credit in the world. And boy, when he became a member, strong was he in our community and our bike club. Well, as events would have it, about a year later, he left the Black Sabbath and joined the 1% Motorcycle Club with another prospect that I had trained, another member that I had trained. And I was truly heartbroken to see him go. But because I thought he was, such a magnificent person. And it broke my heart to see that brotherhood leave us. But one day I got a phone call. And it was from the other guy that left as well. And the other guy said, we had to ride to the mother chapter of our new 1% Motorcycle Club. And we had to ride in an absolute middle of the winter, bad weather, storming, freezing, snow. And he said, we both looked at each other and we smiled. They were acting like this was going to be such a terrible thing for us. And oh, how they were going to kick the new Proby's ass. And we just looked at each other and smiled because we knew we had been trained by one of the hardest core motherfuckers there was out there. Excuse my language. We knew how to ride in the pack because we were bronzed by fire. We were made to ride in the most egregious conditions, but we had our sponsor with us, side by side, the entire way. Not everybody will remain in the brotherhood forever. Not everybody will make their entire career your MC. But as a sponsor, if your prospect can say, no matter where my life took me, it was your tutelage that helped me on my MC voyage, then you know you handled your business correctly. I don't know how the other side rides. I've never been in one of their motorcycle clubs. But when my boys told me it was a piece of cake compared to what I had put them through, and they were more than ready to tackle that challenge, it let me know what we do, we can be proud of. We could cut the mustard on two wheels anywhere. Prospectship is a journey. A sponsor is the journeyman. He takes his prospect on a journey and teaches him courage, leadership by example, safety, shows him the set and how things work, teaches him the bylaws and what is expected, and shows by example the highest qualities of what it takes to be a member of that brotherhood, such that that prospect takes those lessons with him for the rest of his life, wherever he should go. So, what kind of prospect sponsor are you? What will your members become? What will your sponsors be? And what will be their reflection of the lessons that you've given them? I ask you to consider that when you train these men. It should not be about you. It should not be about your ego. It should not be about your politics. It should not be about your advancement. This is about the prospects and who they are and what they are to become. Whether they're in your MC forever or they ride free somewhere else. To me, that's what it's all about. Come on, dog. I'm Black Dragon. Hey, dog. I'm sorry. Hey, man. You trying to get me sued? Good dog. See how my dog watch my back? Ah. I didn't even hear that guy coming. My dog wouldn't let me go forward. Till he saw the guy behind us and addressed him. That's all right, Hunter. You're a hunting dog, ain't you? Shit, I wish I could run through here. I'm having a hard time walking through here. Man. Okay. You guys give me 2 months. I'm gonna run through here too, damn it. That's my goal. To run through here. Anyway, I'm Black Dragon. Appreciate the time. You guys have an amazing day. And remember, the prospect is truly a reflection of his sponsor. Get skinny. Oh, try not to trip on these damn roots.